Fans were shocked when an anonymous source revealed that Kirk Frost might be the father of Karlie's secret love child late last night. Emotions ran high as social media exploded with trending hashtags. The lights flickered and the air crackled, with tension as the world watched Karlie Redd stand her ground, defiantly refusing to back down against the whispers that threatened to consume her. The family was split, with some supporting Karlie's unwavering confidence and others supporting Kirk's shocked denial. In the humming hubs of Atlanta's elite circles, rumors swirled about what they did, who was protecting whom, and most importantly, would the truth ever come to light? When a furious Kirk allegedly confronted Karlie in an exclusive, explosive exchange that insiders say could alter everything we believed we knew about their entangled past, surface tensions reached a fever pitch. Cameras allegedly captured Karlie's icy glare as she entered the spotlight, her voice trembling not with fear, but with unwavering resolve. He is aware of what we did, and now the stage is set for an epic drama in which alliances will fall apart, loyalties will be put to the test, and the true story of this shocking revelation is just getting started. Karlie's world was turned upside down the moment the rumors began to circulate in the early hours of the morning while the city was sleeping. And when an underground blog revealed that Kirk Frost, the man she had previously referred to as a friend and confidant, was at the center of a claim so explosive that it threatened to destroy both of their reputations, emotions ran high. Fans were shocked and tweeted, and the family was left divided. No one seemed to know what actually transpired between Karlie and Kirk, but the commotion was unbearable. Some claimed it was a one-night blunder, while others suggested a month-long, covert affair that resulted in a child that neither of them was prepared to acknowledge. Pictures of Karlie at a private gala were circulated with captions implying, "The next morning, Kirk woke up to a deluge of calls and messages that threatened to drown him in scandal." His phone buzzed non-stop with notifications from reporters, reality TV insiders, and even family members. Fervent glances were shared with Kirk across a crowded room, and each image increased the tension and raised questions that demanded answers. "This is a malicious rumor," he added, running a hand through his hair in frustration. Desperate for clarity, Kirk's denial was swift and public. "I am not the father," he insisted in a video statement that was made public and distributed to various outlets. His normally confident and smooth voice cracked with anger. With hashtags like #ChimKirkInnocent and Stop the Lies, some fans rallied behind him, believing his denial. Others pointed to the blog post's suspicious timing, which suggested that someone seeking retribution was behind it. Could it be a jealous ex-partner, a rival reality star seeking ratings, or perhaps an insider in their own circle who was eager to see them both fail? Meanwhile, Karlie. With only her closest friends and family by her side, Karlie withdrew to a remote villa on the outskirts of Atlanta. Her best friend, Moan, who had supported her through all of her triumphs and scandals, watched her pace the grand foyer like a tiger in a cage. "They don't understand," Karlie whispered in her taut voice. "He knows what we did. He knows who I am." Kirk's denial was a challenge, a dare to uncover the evidence that would prove him wrong once and for all. But Karlie's heart thudded with memories of secret rendezvous, hushed conversations, in dimly lit hallways, and the one moment of weakness that would change everything. Monty, ever the voice of reason, urged Karlie to step back and let the truth reveal itself in due time. As she described every aspect of their interactions, a strategy emerged to force Kirk to come clean without irreparably harming them both. In the open, reactions shook their respective social circles, and family members carefully considered their positions, aware that any public declaration might spark more criticism. Karlie's cousin Tracy posted an emotional, "We stand by you," reads the word of solidarity. At a fancy restaurant downtown, friends of both stars were forced to choose between loyalty and self-preservation, while Kirk's sister Pam encouraged fans to take into account his version of the tale. A covert exchange between Kirk's longtime producer and Karlie's stylist suggested a secret meeting for the next night. No one knew what would be said or who would win, but the idea of conflict sent shockwaves through insider circles. As the days went by, new developments surfaced, and a mysterious package containing a collection of pictures showing their most private moments arrived at Karlie's villa. Karlie's heart pounded as she looked at the pictures, some of which were taken at private events and others of secret kisses in shadowy corners. The handwriting was recognizable, and each picture was painstakingly framed, leaving little question. That the sender knew their history in unfathomable detail. The truth always finds its way. When snippets of the photos leaked online, fans analyzed every pixel in search of hints about the sender's identity. An old flame with a reputation for retaliation. But how did they obtain such incriminating evidence? And why now her mind was racing with questions as she realized the game had escalated beyond simple rumor-mongering panic. Identity conspiracy theories were rampant. Was it Karlie's planned leak to pressure Kirk into making a confession? Or was someone else using their drama as a pawn in a larger power struggle? Under extreme pressure, Kirk canceled multiple appearances and withdrew behind closed doors. In a rare moment of vulnerability, he confided in a longtime friend that he felt cornered and betrayed, saying, "I never intended for any of this to come out," he admitted in a voice full of regret. "But if Karlie believes she can control me with secrets, she's seriously mistaken." Inside Karlie's villa, emotions reached a breaking point, and Monty, sensing her friend's anguish, urged her to have another strategy session together. They planned their next course of action, including whether or not to go public with the Karlie, weighed the advantages and disadvantages, divided between her desire for validation and her fear of complete exposure. Each option had risks. Too much transparency could backfire, portraying her as the mastermind of a complex smear campaign. Would they use photographs branding them as evidence of Kirk's deceit, or would they take a more subdued approach, releasing carefully edited clips that hinted at the truth without giving away too much? As part 1 came to a close, a final surprise arrived. Video footage from a hidden camera captured Karlie and Kirk in hushed tones discussing future plans during one of their secret meetings. If they did too little, Kirk might escape unscathed, leaving her reputation in ruins. The world was left wondering what was said next in this new twist, where the stakes were higher than ever and loyalties were split in an instant. As the dust settled on this explosive chapter, one thing was evident. Kirk's hand was gently resting on Karlie's shoulder as she talked about starting a family, her eyes glistening with hope. The countdown to their next confrontation had begun, and no one outside of their inner circle could have predicted the fallout part 2 that awaited them. With damning photos, leaked videos, and a maze of secrets, Karlie and Kirk found themselves embroiled in a battle where only one could emerge unscathed. In a smoky back room of an exclusive club, a clandestine meeting took place. Monty arrived early, dressed entirely in black, and her eyes scanned the crowd across the table sat Jackson. As dawn broke. Over Atlanta, a hush fell over Karlie's villa, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath, waiting for the next. Jackson moved forward and drummed his fingers on the mahogany surface. "I have intel," he murmured in a low voice. "Someone on Kirk's team is desperate to keep the truth buried. They have DNA results, but they're holding them hostage." Jackson was a former reality star whose loyalty to Karlie had always been ambiguous. The heart of Karlie banged into her chest. "Who?" "I can't say, but if you're willing to pay the price, I can get you access," she urged, and Jackson shook his head. It was obvious that this battle would cost more than cash as rumors circulated and the dynamics in their inner circles started to change. Tracy, a loyal ally of Karlie's, was forced to take sides after receiving a text message at midnight that said, "Don't trust Monty," along with a grainy image of Monty exchanging envelopes with an unnamed person. Tracy's faith. At the same time that Kirk's producer was under increasing pressure to obtain those DNA results, friends who had previously laughed at the notion of Karlie having a secret child now watched in stunned silence, uncertain, wondering if Monty was playing both sides. This caused a deep sense of betrayal and split Karlie's family faction. In the midst of this chaos, an unexpected ally appeared, Karlie's estranged half-sister Dee, who had moved away from the glamour and drama of reality TV to live a quiet life as a craftswoman in North Georgia. When she learnt of the scandal, she packed her bags and showed up at the villa without warning. Karlie wasn't sure whether to support Kirk's denial or get upset about his evasiveness. "I don't know what really happened," Dee admitted, "but I know you and I'm here to help you find the truth." Karlie remembers their last acrimonious argument, but she let Dee in when she saw him standing on the doorstep, eyes red from travel. Dee's serene demeanor was a balm to her frayed nerves. Together, they began a thorough examination of every message, picture, and piece of evidence that had come to light during a series of tense late-night stakeouts. Monty and Jackson followed Kirk's car to a distant laboratory outside the city, where Kirk entered and looked around as if he were expecting cameras. Monty recorded Kirk's every action through the tinted windows. An hour later, she came out with a little packet that she thought contained the repressed DNA results. Before she could stop him, Jackson gave her a back rub and said, "Patience," he murmured. "We need the perfect moment." The stakes felt like a cliffhanger from a reality show. Would they follow Kirk into the night and steal the envelope, or would they waste their time and lose their only chance at the truth? Kirk posted a mysterious message on his private Instagram the following morning, and within minutes, fans exploded in the comment section. Sometimes the biggest shadows are cast by those closest to us. The ambiguity fueled the fire, attracting new viewers eager for scandal. Karlie watched from the villa's balcony, her reflection ghost-like in the glass. Every new development hammered at her resolve, making her wonder if she was playing a risky game of cat and mouse that could ruin them all if she moved too. There were wild speculations that he was accusing Karlie Monty of someone else. When Monty overheard a phone conversation between Kirk and an unidentified acquaintance, tensions reached a breaking point. "The results are sealed until further notice," Kirk added in a desperate voice. "Don't let anyone see them, especially not Karlie." As the room whirled around her, Monty replayed the message, shocked that the DNA findings were real and that someone was making money off of their quiet. The reply crackled in static. "Understood, but the price is rising." Back at the villa, Karlie and Dee came up with a bold plan to confront Kirk at the annual Atlanta Charity Gala, where cameras and reporters would be everywhere. By forcing the encounter in public, they hoped to expose the hidden broker who was pulling strings behind the scenes and setting them against each other for personal gain. Pressure Kirk into either confessing or disclosing the contents of the envelope. The strategy depended on timing. It would divert Kirk's security while Karlie gave him a recording device. As she practiced her lines, her hands trembled. Was she prepared to confront Kirk on stage in front of thousands of eager onlookers and flashing bulbs? The night of the gala arrived dressed in lavish. At the end of the red carpet, with his entourage by his side, Kirk stood grinning with practiced ease as Karlie walked through the crowd in a sleek black gown, her heart thumping like a drum. However, as Karlie got closer, the atmosphere crackled with electricity. Cameras clicked, crews turned, and the air thickened with anticipation. In that tense moment, Karlie saw Kirk's expression change, his smile faltering. As Karlie drew closer, Dee slipped away to carry out her diversion, and the crowd held its breath as their worlds collided in a silent tsunami of tension, darkening with a mixture of anger and fear. A sudden commotion near the bar sent guests running, and Kirk's security team converged on the disturbance in the split second of distraction. "This is it," she whispered, pressing the recorder into Kirk's hand. Kirk's jaw tightened as the realization hit him, but before he could react, the lights went down and the host of the gala announced a special tribute. The moment passed quickly, leaving Karlie gripping Kirk's sleeve and wondering if she would ever have another chance to reveal the truth. Claire, a seasoned entertainment reporter, sneaked backstage and documented a hushed conversation between Monty and Jackson that had gone dark. Monty said, "We lost the recorder," and Jackson's grim nod confirmed their worst fears. The night ended in a flurry of unresolved questions and simmering grudges. The game was far from over, and Karlie knew she had the hacker back at Kirk's estate. The prize had slipped away, and she returned to an empty villa, exhausted and frustrated. But beneath the weariness, a spark of determination flickered. Part 3 awaited, promising even darker betrayals, unexpected alliances, and the revelation of the broker's identity. When the consultant revealed that the P.O. box had been rented using a phony ID connected to a shell company, he explained, by bringing up files on a laptop. The shell company's registered agent is a law firm, and one of their associates, Melanie Reed, handled the paperwork. Kirk's heart raced when he realized that Melanie Reed had previously handled public relations. For his fashion line, "She's in deep with my, why would she turn on me?" Kirk murmured, "brand team." The consultant shrugged. "I need to talk to her myself." Kirk leaned back, thinking, I need to talk to her myself. That evening, Karlie and her team watched the news updates on a wall-mounted television. As the network prepared to air a leaked memo suggesting the involvement of a third party, Monty's eyes glittered. "This is our opening." She keyed in her laptop, ready to stream the memo live on Karlie's social channels. Karlie held up a hand, waiting to see if we go live. The breaking segment teased exclusive details on hidden actors, and Karlie read the Kirk Frost scandal. Now that we have the memo and an audio of Melanie Reed acknowledging that she was paid to keep the DNA, Kirk's staff will have time to spin it or bombard the feeds with denials. People commented, "You have that recording?" Nodding and sliding a USB drive across the table, both camps rallied for the big reveal as Kirk's private jet was ready to take off. He was going to New York to attend a fashion gala in the hopes of escaping the impending storm, but Marcus caught him at the hangar. "Melanie Reed just admitted everything to the FBI," he said, his eyes wide. "I'm taking this fight directly to Karlie, who was on the other side of the city, and her team prepared their digital ambush. She's cooperating, and they're tracking the payments back to someone in Monica's network." Kirk's jaw is clenched, which indicates that Monty set me up. Kirk hesitated, or she was a pawn too. Kirk stared at the twilight sky, mind racing. At 9 p.m., Karlie went live and spoke to her followers, and today we will reveal the broker who played us all the memo. Monty cued the memo and verified the Melanie Reed and Jackson clip while keeping an eye on the analytics dashboard. The video clip then played a shaky handheld recording of Melanie Reed in an unremarkable office voice, trembling as she confessed, "I was hired to intercept the DNA results and keep them hidden. I thought I was doing it for the right reasons within minutes." The screen scrolled across as viewers gasped at the details of the millions of dollars that were funneled through shell companies' payments linked to Kirk's production company. The villa was filled with the roar of notifications and the glow of screens, and Karlie watched her heart race as the broker's meticulously planned plans fell apart in real time. The internet was ablaze with controversy, hashtags, trending talk shows, and comments pouring in. "This is crazy, Karlie. You're a genius, Kirk." Within an hour, a video statement from the reality star himself appeared on his official channel. He spoke calmly and measuredly, saying, "Tonight's revelations are disturbing, and I will cooperate fully with law enforcement to uncover who orchestrated this smear." In her favor, a persistent doubt murmured in the back of her mind. What if Melanie Reed was scheming to cover for someone more powerful? Kirk's team retaliated. Campaign. But remember that every story has two sides. In a matter of seconds, his supporters praised his professionalism in the comments section, while his detractors accused him of avoiding responsibility. As midnight drew near, both sides took a moment to regroup, and Karlie fell onto Asha's seated. Next to her, handing a silent cup of tea, Dee muttered, "We did it. We found our adversary." Karlie nodded, but her eyes were far away. "Yes, but this feels too easy. You're right," she said, voice low. "Look at these transactions. The money trail goes beyond Melanie Reed's account and leads to someone with ties to Kirk's family." Karlie's breath caught. Monty joined them, holding a tablet that displayed bank records. The villa felt colder than ever. The battlefield had changed, and the true puppet master was still hidden in the shadows. Karlie's hand was closed around a pillow, her knuckles whitened. "We're close," she whispered. So close to the truth, but no one said this war would be clean. This exposed Kirk's team, but what if Kirk himself was a victim in that charged moment? Part 4 loomed on the horizon, offering the last encounter where the four of them leaned in over the flickering screens, determination burning in their eyes as betrayal had sliced deep ties that had changed like sand, and the broker's identity still remained just out of reach. As Karlie stared at the bank records, her heart racing with a fierce mixture of triumph and dread, she realized that the money trail that had appeared to lead directly to Kirk's doorstep now pointed to someone much closer to his own sister Pam. The ultimate truth would be revealed, and the real family drama would come crashing down. The first light of dawn crept into the villa's windows. Insiders speculated that Pam's motivation was jealousy. She had been preparing the perfect storm by using shell corporations to funnel payments and forcing Melanie Reed to play her part. Pam had always resented Karlie's bond with Kirk, feeling marginalized by the attention her brother lavished on his co-star, and now she had orchestrated a scandal to end them. As the crew processed the information, Dee's voice quivered. Pam Frost? Kirk's sister? Monty nodded and scrolled through a string of emails that Jackson's hacking talents had unearthed. Each communication described Pam's painstaking preparation for the Pobox rental. Even the staged gala distraction, burner phones, and the contract. With Melanie Reed had left no digital fingerprints, but the human cost and the betrayal of family was undeniable. Karlie's eyes filled with tears as she pictured Kirk's anguish upon hearing the truth. "We have to show him," she said in a barely audible whisper. "Needs to understand that it wasn't me." Meanwhile, Kirk stood in the grand foyer of his estate. The morning papers scattered at his feet, headlines declaring that his own sister had planned the smear campaign. Kirk's hands trembled as he read the leaked emails for himself, and he realized that Pam had used his fame as a weapon to undermine the one person she believed wasn't worthy of his allegiance. He had suspected Pam's involvement, but had been too scared to speak up, so Marcus watched from the shadows with guilt etched on his face. Now that he knew the truth, he hurried to call Karlie's villa and set up a secret meeting. When Karlie's phone buzzed with an incoming call from Marcus, the room fell silent as she answered. "Karlie, you need to see this," Marcus said in an urgent tone, and he sent a file containing a video of Pam Frost, who was shown pacing the room in a low, venomous voice as she described her plan to destroy Kirk and Karlie's relationship. "They'll eat out of my hand when I control the narrative," said Pam sneeringly. By the time Kirk realizes, as Karlie watched Pam's confession, tears came down her cheeks. The betrayal was more profound than any rumor or manufactured leak, and Pam, who had once been Karlie's friend and Kirk's confidant, had turned into Karlie knew what she had to do at that point. So she summoned the courage to tell Moan to set up a live stream for that evening's private gathering of important players that would only be seen by their inner circle. She would confront Pam directly, give Kirk the evidence, and give Pam a chance to defend herself or fall apart under the weight of her actions. The villa hummed with tense anticipation as evening drew near, and Kirk arrived in the shadow of twilight, entering the room where Karlie D. Mooney and Jackson were waiting. Pam, who had been called in by an urgent text, entered last, her composure perfect, but her eyes showing a hint of panic. The camera came to life, recording every moment for the live stream. "You broke our family," she whispered calmly. "Why?" The audience rose to greet Pam, who steadied her voice. "You never belonged here," she spat, "and I watched you take everything from me, Kirk." Kirk's gaze hardened. "You betrayed me," he corrected, his eyes wearing with sorrow and anger. "Loyalty, love, and future." The tension crackled as Kirk crossed the room, placing a hand on Pam's shoulder and asking, "Is this true?" Pam's defenses flickered, and she stammered, "I did what I had to do." Pam's facade finally collapsed as she revealed every detail of her scheme, confessing that her jealousy had motivated her to undermine Karlie and Kirk. She then produced the video recording and urged Pam to tell him why she had planned this. In front of their friends, thousands of online viewers, and bright lights. Kirk gathered Pam in an embrace as the villa appeared to burst with unbridled passion. "You hurt me," he said. "You hurt us." Pam wailed, apologizing in shattered pieces. Just when it appeared that the storm had passed, a new twist appeared when Jackson's laptop pinging with an urgent notification revealed another bank trail that didn't tie back to Pam. Karlie watched in conflict as the brother and sister reconciled. Before her eyes, shattering the family she had joined through love and partnership, and then tentatively piecing it back together under the weight of Pam's confession. However, Karlie's breath caught in her throat when she realized that her manager, who was even closer to her, had approved hundreds of thousands of dollars in shell company transfers. Had she been duped by the person she trusted the most? The revelation came like a tidal wave, threatening to destroy the tenuous closure they had just reached. As the cameras continued to roll, Karlie forced herself to remain calm and turned to her manager who, in the last moments of the live broadcast, the online audience erupted in comments of shock and disbelief, as the scandal had transformed into a web of deceit that stretched beyond family rivalries into the very center of Karlie's empire. The manager's eyes darted around the room, searching for an escape, and the manager stood speechless, face ashen, and asked why Karlie's voice trembled and why she betrayed me. With tears in her eyes, Karlie held out her hand and pleaded for silence, saying, "This war was never just about rumors or secret children. It was about trust that was repeatedly betrayed by those closest to us."